Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Python Programming for Beginners series. In this video, we'll be continuing with list. In the last video, we talked extensively on list, but we cannot exhaust what we have about list in a single video. So in this video, we'll be continuing talking about list. In the last video, I showed you how to select an item from a list using the index. So for example, we have days of the week. You can display certain items from the list, or you can choose a certain items from the list using the index. Let me copy this and paste it here. So we have days of the week complete. So using the index, you can select any item from days of the week. You can get rid of this. Let's use this line. So possibly you want to display the first item from the list. You use the index of 0. Okay, if you run that, you are going to have Sunday, which is the first item on the list. If you need the fourth item on the list, you are going to use the index of 3. If you run that, you are going to have Wednesday, which is the fourth item on this list. Alright, what I want to show you is that you are not limited to using just positive numbers. You can also use negative numbers to pick any item from the list. Just as you have Sunday to be 0 and you have the last item here, which is Saturday, to be 6, you can as well pick Saturday using 6 as its index number. So you have Saturday, and you can also use negative number. Anytime you use negative number, the list item will start counting from the back. So here now we have Saturday to have the index of 6. If you use negative 1, the item will start counting from the back. So negative 1 is going to be Saturday. If you run this again, you are also going to have Saturday. So using 6 will give you Saturday. Using negative 1 will give you Saturday. Thursday, we have a positive index of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. But counting from the back, it's going to have a negative index of negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3. So if you use negative 3 now and you run that, you're going to have, let's run that, you're going to have Thursday. So you are not limited to using just positive numbers. You can also use negative numbers. Mind you, negative numbers will start counting the list item from the back. Okay, so how can you choose a random item from a list? If you could remember, in our previous video we talked about random module, and we have a series of methods that are available on the random module. So how can you select a random item from a list? So if you keep checking, you see this method random.choice. It accepts a sequence as its argument or parameters, the case may be. So we can pass a list to this choice function, and it's going to return a random element from the non-empty sequence. If the sequence is empty, that means if the list is empty, it's going to return an index error. Whenever you need a method that you actually don't know, your search engine is at your disposal, just search for any method. So you can as well come here and search for a method to choose a random item from a list in Python, as we have several programming languages with several methods. So if you come here, you can see from Stack Overflow you have random.choice. So if you come to Stack Overflow, you have random.choice. This is a list. Then if you pass the list to random.choice, you are going to have a random item from the list. Okay, so this is another list, secret.choice. This is for secret. So whenever you are at a crossroad of performing a function and you don't know that, your search engine is at your disposal, just search for whatever you are looking for, and I'm very sure that you are going to have numerous options at your disposal. So we have this random.choice function to pick a random item from a list. Given that we have our days of the week list to be this, if you want to pick any day at random, all you have to do is random. Currently we've not imported our random, so it is going to be undefined. So we need to import random, right? A random.choice. So now we pass our days of the week, which is the sequence we are talking about. But now can give this random day. So we can assign it to a variable. So now we can print random day. Okay, so let's print that. What we have Monday chosen randomly. You can click the terminal and rerun that again. Okay, so you have Friday. If you run that again, you have Tuesday, you have Sunday, you have Thursday. So you can pick any item from a list at random using the random.choice function. Okay, so let me comment this out. There are times that when you are working with a list, you can run into an error called index error. So whenever you are picking a value from a list and you use an index that is higher than the available index from that list, you are going to run into index error. You can illustrate that. So let's say index with uppercase index error. Okay, so paste this and comment that. The highest index we have here now is 6. So if you want to, let's say you want to display an item with index of 7, let's print this. What you are going to have here is you are going to run into an index error. You can see that you have list index out of range, and that is because you are using an index that is higher than the obtainable index from this list. Possibly if you are working on a list that you currently don't know the value, maybe you might be fetching data from the database and you actually don't know whatever number of items that might be in that list. You can get the number of items from a list dynamically. And how do you do that? You use the len function. We've talked about the len function in previous videos. You can use the len function to get the number of characters in a string. You can also use it to get the number of items in a list. So you get that using the len function. You can say number of items. Let's say num items, because we have days of the week as our list here. Now we can select days of the week and put it in and pass it to a len function. So if you print that, let's say num of items, so printing that, we are going to have the number of items present, which is 7. Let's close this. Let's clear our console. So we are printing number of items and it gives us 7. So if you are getting a list dynamically and you don't know the actual number of items, you can use the len function to get the number of items that is present in that list. And to access the last item on that list, if you don't want to run into index error, currently if you pass the number of items directly, let's say print days of the week and then number of items. If you pass the number of items directly to days of the week, you are also going to run into index error because the number of items as you've seen here is 7, whereas the last index on the list is 6, because your indices starts counting from 0. If you run this now, you are going to run into index error. So to dynamically get the last item from a list, what you need to do is to subtract 1 from your number of items, which is gotten from using the len function. So if you run this now, you safely get the last item on the list. So I think this video is already long enough. Before we round up this video, let's talk about nested list. Nested list is having a list inside of another list. So let's say you have list 1 to be, maybe list 1 contain the names of your sibling. So possibly your first sibling is John, your second sibling is James. Okay, and then possibly list 2 contains the name of your parents. Okay, so you can say maybe the name of your dad is Doe and then the name of your mom is Jane. Okay, these are just random examples. So to combine this, to nest this list now inside of another list, okay, you can, to be more realistic, you can call this sibling, right? And this, you can call it parent. So to nest this list inside of another list, which thinks about nested list, you can say, you can call them family. Okay, so you are going to have family as a list itself. Okay, and you are going to nest both parents and sibling inside of the family list. So you can say sibling, okay, then you can have parents. So if we print the family list now, print family, we are going to have a nested list. The sibling and the parents list are nested inside of the family list. So let's run that and see what we have. So you can see you have John and James, which are your siblings, and you have Doe and Jane as your parents. So these two lists now are nested inside of another list. That is the concept of nested list, and you can perform every operations, every methods that are available on the list. You can also perform them on nested list. Just for example, you can print the first item on the family list. So you can say family, the first item is going to go with the index of 0. So if you run that, okay, let's comment this out. We already have it in our console. So you can see the first item on the family list is John and James. If you print this again, you can print. Okay, let's just duplicate this to save ourselves time. So you can print the second one. So you have Doe and James. Okay, I already printed this. I did not comment that out. So we have John and James, we have Doe and Jane. So you have liberty to apply whatever method that is applicable on the list to nested list. You can also append, you can extend, you can insert, you can pop, you can do all sorts of things. Alright, so that's that for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give your likes and comments. I will see you in the next video.